A few of rock's founding fathers are as endearing as this man. From the 1940s on, he embodied Memphis music. Of his brief but amusing presence in Jim Jarmusch's Mystery Train, a film that satirizes and elevates the city's place in popular culture, was just suitable. He wasn't a great innovator as a recording artist, but his soul dance tracks were always certain to be entertaining, humorous, and or provocative. He was one of the few rock or soul acts to achieve their commercial and artistic peak in middle age, and he served as an influential mentor to many notable Memphis blues, rock, and soul artists. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Rufus Thomas. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Rufus Thomas Jr. on March 26, 1917, in the rural community of Casey's, Mississippi, on the outskirts of Memphis, Tennessee, the son of a sharecropper. He and his family relocated to Memphis in 1920. His mother was a church woman. When Thomas was 6 years old, he made his acting debut as a frog in a school play. By the age of 10, he was a tap dancer who performed on the streets and in amateur musicals at Memphis Booker T. Washington High. He worked as a master of ceremonies at talent events at the Palace Theater on Beale Street alongside Nat D. Williams, his high school history teacher, who was also a pioneer black DJ at radio station WDIA and a columnist for black publications since he was 13. Beale Street served to highlight the burgeoning talents of prominent performers such as B.B. King, Bobby Bland, Junior Parker, Ike Turner, and Roscoe Gordon. Thomas attended Tennessee A&I University for one semester after graduating from high school, but due to financial restraints, he dropped out to pursue a full-time entertainment career. Thomas started acting and touring tent shows. In 1936, he joined the Rabbit Foot Minstrels, an all-black revue that toured the South as a tap dancer and comic, occasionally performing as Rufus and Johnny. He married Cornelia Leroy Wilson in 1940 at a service presided by Reverend C.L. Franklin, and the couple moved to Memphis. Thomas had a day job at the American Finishing Company's textile bleaching factory for more than 20 years. He also founded Rufus and Bones, a comedy and dance duo with Robert Barber Bones Couch, and they took over as MCs at the Palace Theater, frequently doing amateur hour performances. B.B. King was an early winner, and Thomas found Bobby Bland and Johnny Ace in the late 40s. In the early 40s, Thomas started writing and singing his own tunes. He cited Louis Armstrong, Fats Waller, and Gatenmouth Moore as musical inspirations. He made his professional singing debut at the Elks Club on Beale Street, standing in for another singer at the last minute, and by the 40s, he was a frequent performer at Memphis nightclubs like Curry's Club Tropicana. As an accomplished artist in Memphis, aged 33 in 1950, Thomas recorded his first 78 RPM single for Jesse Erickson's Modest Star talent label in Dallas, Texas. Thomas said, "I just wanted to make a record. I never thought of getting rich. I just wanted to be known, be a recording artist. But the record sold 5 copies and I bought 4 of them. The record, I'll Be a Good Boy."
Be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy.
Back with I'm So Worried,
Going round. And my heart is full.
gained a Billboard review, which stated that Thomas shows first-class style on a slow blues. He also recorded for the Bullet label in Nashville, Tennessee, where Bobby played his orchestra. Scholars did not discover the records as Thomas until 1996. His initial recordings for the Chess label, produced at Sam Phillips Sun Studio in 1951, were not financially successful. In 1951, he began working as a DJ at radio station WDIA, where he aired the afternoon R&B show Hoot and Holler. WDIA, which had an African American format, was dubbed the mother station of and became a key source of blues and R&B music for a decade, with an audience that included both white and black listeners. Thomas used to introduce his shows saying, "I'm young, I'm loose, I'm full of juice, I got the goose, so what's the use? We're feeling though, we ain't got $1, Rufus is here, so hoot and holler." He also used to take groups of white youths on midnight rambles along Beale Street. Thomas claimed to be the first black DJ to play Elvis Presley albums, which he did until the station's program director told him to cease owing to segregation. Shortly after, Thomas appeared on stage with Elvis in front of an all-black audience, and the crowd rushed to get near him. Following that, the program director permitted Elvis songs to be broadcast on WDIA. His southern reputation was such that in 1953, at Sam Phillips' suggestion, he recorded Bearcat for Sun Records was an answer record to Big Mama Thornton's R&B smash Hound Dog.
Kitty, but I ain't gonna rub you no more. Rub you.
The single became the label's first national chart hit, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard R&B chart. However, a copyright infringement suit filed by Don Roby, the original publisher of Hound Dog, almost bankrupted the record company. After only one recording, Thomas was one of the black musicians dismissed by Phillips, who shifted his label's focus to white audiences and signed Elvis Presley, who subsequently covered Thomas' song Tiger Man. Thomas would not record again until 1956 when he released the song, I'm Steady Holding On.
I was born in the country.
In 1960, he released his first recordings with his 17-year-old daughter Carla for the Memphis-based satellite label, which later changed its name to Stax. The song "Cause I Love You,"
Baby, come on. Baby.
which took a beat from Jesse Hills. Ooh Poo Pie Doo was a regional smash. The musicians featured Thomas' son Marvel on keyboards, Steinberg, and Booker T. Jones, who was 16 years old. The record's popularity led to Stax signing a production and distribution contract with the much bigger Atlantic Records. Rufus Thomas continued to record for the label after Carla's record. Gee Whiz, Look at His Eyes reached the national R&B chart in 1961. He scored his own success with The Dog, a song he improvised in front of an audience based on a Willie Mitchell bass line replete with barking dog imitations. The 1963 follow-up, Walking the Dog,
If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog.
engineered by Tom Dowd of Atlantic, became one of his most successful albums, peaking at number 10 on the Billboard Pop list. As he was the first and remains the only parent to make his top 10 debut after his daughter did. The Rolling Stones recorded the song for their debut album in early 1964, and Mercy Beat group The Denizens subsequently had a modest UK chart hit with it. In addition to recording and performing on radio and in clubs, Thomas worked as a boiler operator in a textile plant, where he claimed the noises occasionally suggested musical rhythms and lyrics to him, until he quit in 1963 to focus on his career as a singer and entertainer. He recorded a number of novelty dance singles for Stax, including Can Your Monkey Do the Dog, and Somebody Stole My Dog,
Don't mind dog. I wonder who.
where he was frequently accompanied by Booker T and NG's Or. The Barcades, he also became a mentor to Stax's younger singers, instructing them on stage movements such as Otis Redding, who recorded with Thomas' daughter Carla. After Jump Back in 1964, the hits dried up for several years as Stax gave more attention to younger artists and musicians. However, in 1970, he had another big hit with Do the Funky Chicken, which reached number 5 on the R&B chart, number 28 on the pop chart, and number 18 in Britain. where it was his only chart hit.
Then you know you're doing the funky chicken.
Thomas improvised the song while performing with Willie Mitchell's band at a club in Covington, Tennessee, including the spoken word section that he regularly used as a shtick as a radio DJ. Oh, I feel so unnecessary. This is the kind of stuff that makes you feel like you want to do something nasty, like waste some chicken gravy on your white shirt right down front. Al Bell and Tom Nixon produced the track, which included the barcades, including guitarist Michael Toes. Thomas continued to create with Bell and Nixon, and in 1970 he got his first #1 R&B success and second highest mainstream charting record with another dance tune, Do the Push and Pull.
You're on your own, pretty baby. Now go for yourself. It's easy to take.
In 1971, he released another dance-oriented hit. The Breakdown peaked at #2 in R&B and #31 in pop.
My. Just look around and grab your.
He performed at the Stax event in 1972, and he had a few more less popular singles before Stax folded in 1976. Thomas continued to record and tour internationally, billing himself as the world's oldest teenager and describing himself as the funkiest man alive. He drew upon his vaudeville background to put his songs over on stage with fancy footwork that displayed remarkable agility for a man well into his 50s, and usually performed while clothed in a wardrobe of hot pants, boots, and capes, all in wild colors. He continued as a DJ at WDIA until 1974 and worked for a period at WLOK before returning to WDIA in the mid-1980s to co-host a blues show. He appeared regularly on television and recorded albums for various labels. Thomas performed regularly at the Peretta Soul Festival in Italy. The outdoor amphitheater in which he performed was later renamed Rufus Thomas Park. He was a major part of the Stax reunion 1988 and participated in Jim Jarmusch's 1989 film Mystery Train, Robert Altman's 1999 film Cookie's Fortune, and D.A. Pennebaker's documentary Only the Strong Survive. In 1988, Thomas released That Woman Is Poison, a straight-ahead blues album with Alligator Records, which included saxophonist Noble Thin Man Watts. In 1996, he and William Bell headlined the Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia. Rufus Live, his album on Echo Records, was released in 1997. In 1998, he staged 2 New Year's Eve performances on Beale Street. Rufus Thomas Boulevard was renamed by the city of Memphis in 1997 to honor his 80th birthday. It is located off Beale Street near the former Palace Theater. He received the Pioneer Award from the Rhythm and Blues Foundation in 1992 and a Lifetime Achievement Award from ASCAP in 1997. He was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in 2001. On December 15, 2001, Thomas passed away from heart failure at the age of 84. He is buried next to his wife Lorraine, who passed in 2000 at the New Park Cemetery in Memphis. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by Rufus Thomas?